Right. And welcome back, everyone, to Strange Planet Podcast. And for this week, as we enter the final season, or continue rather, the final season of America, as we briefly discussed last week about Trump deploying the troops in Chicago, we're going to be covering that, as we all probably already are full aware that that had happened. And let's see, on the other docket, we have Dave Taylor of Ohio, who's a Republican representative. I believe his staff members were gifted American flags with swastikas in it. And he claims that it was supposed to be an illusion or some kind of optical illusion thing. But yeah, if you Google it or take a look at it for yourself, it's no magic eye. I mean, it's pretty fucking obvious if you ask me. So yeah, I don't even have words to describe how wrong that is in every sense of the term. But yeah, here we are, I guess, right? And yeah, the government is still shut down because Democrats are actually holding their ground and they're not going to bend to fix the whole healthcare situation. Because had they not, starting as soon as possibly next year, you would be looking at your premiums probably doubling, if not tripling. So yeah, there's that too. As you can see, I wish, just like I've said before, I just wish one day I could get on this thing and be like, hey, great news for America. But I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. So, guys, I ask you, what do you want to take a stab at first here?
Well, first, let's just cover the American flag or
The swastika
American
thing?
Nazi flag.
Hmm.
I think so. Details of this are still emerging,
Hmm.
so we don't know the full story yet. But what we do know is that a staffer um, of a Republican congressman from Ohio, uh, Taylor, I forget his first name.
Dave Taylor, I think his
Dave
name was.
Taylor,
Yeah.
yes. So he was caught on a Zoom call with an American flag that had a swastika in the middle. The stripes were like converged into a swastika
Yep,
in the
right in the
center.
middle.
And so, um, you know, obviously that's alarming. This is a federally paid employee on what I think was federal time, in a federal office, with that kind of imagery behind him. Um, that's unacceptable. Now, in his defense, the congressman condemned the I guess the flag, and it's currently being investigated. Apparently, or what's claimed is that there were a number of Republican congressional staffers, from a number of members of Congress who were also given these flags. And, you know, whether they were given the flags or whether they, you know, procured them themselves on purpose, we don't know.
Right, right.
Um, and given the fact that, recently all these texts from the young Republicans leaked.
I meant to bring that up earlier, Paul.
At first people were like, "Oh, how do you know it's you know, real? How do you know it's not made up?" And then some of these people are actually identified. And so now we move from that to Vice President JD Vance just basically, laughing it off, saying, "Oh, these are like kids joking around on the internet." And it's like, okay, first of all, they're not kids. They're like in their 20s and 30s. That's not
Right?
a kid.
They're
Okay.
supposed to know better, too.
And second of all, this is like, an organization that is the training grounds for future Republican leaders. On a personal note, I once had the N word used in my presence by a member of the Young Republicans. Um,
Oh,
he
shit.
immediately apologized for it, which, that's great. Um, I don't know if today's young Republicans would apologize. They, the moral um, compass of the country, I think, has shifted such that they don't think that that's wrong. They want, or at least that's where they want to go. They
Mm,
want to be able to express those hateful opinions of others freely without consequence, without criticism, without losing their jobs, without you know being canceled.
right, right. Talk
um
back.
you know First of all, I mean, if you're on the federal dime, if you're working for the federal government and you're in your capacity as a federal employee, you have no business expressing those kind of views on government dollars. First of all, you are a government employee at that time. What you do in your free time, fine. But that also doesn't excuse you from, you know, how harboring those views and expressing them and trying to spread them.
Hmm.
And
Enabling it.
I think JD Vance um made a horrible mistake in terms of, and this was intentional, instead of condemning it and saying, obviously, and let's be clear, this was not only saying the N word, not only, name calling, but also saying, putting people in gas chambers.
Yep.
Like,
Certain
this
races,
is
Democrats, they were saying. You're right.
right. This is like violent and hateful rhetoric that has no place in our politics. And it's just an escalation of the climate that's been ongoing in this country. And I think it's important for someone in a leadership position. JD Vance is the vice president of the United States of America. He's supposed to be representing all Americans. It was incumbent upon him to, shut this down and say, no, that's horrific. We don't support that. Those words did not come out of his mouth.
No, they did not.
All they did, he, just
Laughed it
brushed
off
it off.
practically.
And that is wrong because that's going to further encourage people to harbor these views, and it normalizes those views. And so we're going to see a lot more of this hateful and violent rhetoric.
Yeah. Because it's not being condemned. That's why. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? This shit happens and they just kind of try to brush it off like, oh, it's not what you think it is. I mean, did you read it? You know what I mean? Like it's a one-way road there. You know what I mean? It's not really hard to decipher. Mark, you got anything you want to add to that?
Yeah. I mean, with the whole situation and what's going on with this swastika and everything, Mike Johnson even had some words to say on the stand about it all, kind of like almost brushing it off, saying, it's being dealt with and they shouldn't need to worry about it. We need to focus on other things in this country. I'll spell it out for you what the GOP is about. Talked about freedom and talked about, accountability, talked about fair trade and some other stuff that, go America kind of stuff. And
Of
then
Right.
he
course,
said
something to
that
distract you, you know?
he
Where
started
where where was the, those words are bad, those
Right?
beliefs are bad, don't do that, we
Like,
don't
right?
support that.
We used to
well,
be about that as a
here's
country, you
this
know
is
what
where it
I
starts to come into it.
mean?
As he's changing the subject, he starts to dial back a bit and realize, maybe I should start condemning it. So he starts saying, "We condemn these ideals and stuff. This is not what we're about. We defeated the Nazis, and we defended those evil ideals."
Now they're
Now,
creating new ones.
I don't know if he was meant to say defeated, but this is known as a fraudulent slip, where he said
Freudian.
defended. Freudian, yeah. So that's that part of it. So I feel like, the GOP is trying so hard to look like the good guy
Right?
and just failing oh so miserably to do so. And it's just, you know, Mike Johnson wants to say that the Democrats are responsible for holding up, bringing back the country. Oh, the country is shut in shutdown mode. It's all the Democrats' fault because they want to push this piece of legislation, and it's like y'all won't even come to the table to negotiate with us. It's outright no, our way or the highway, and that's pretty much all it is with the Republicans.
Pretty much.
They want to ask. They want to have the nerve to ask, like, well, why don't you come to the table in good faith? Good faith from you guys. We've done that already. It didn't work out. So
no, it did not.
You got that right. I tell you, the real silent keyword for Republicans these days is hypocrisy. Because basically,
absolutely,
because
okay, but hypocrisy is one thing, but substantively, their ideas are horrific and bad for the country.
Yeah, but they don't seem to care.
Passing a budget without the healthcare subsidies that we currently enjoy, or at least did enjoy up until, we're going to enjoy them, I guess, through the rest of the year. But then after that, they're gone, and people's premiums are going to skyrocket.
Yep, that's guaranteed at this point too.
Like, you know what I mean? That is bad. That doesn't help anyone at all, actually.
No,
that's whether you're MAGA or not. By the way, too,
it doesn't even help health insurance companies. Really.
No,
because people are going to be leaving.
Absolutely, insurance companies.
They can't afford their health care. They're going to be leaving. They're not going to pay anything.
Right, and like you were saying last week, it's also going to affect those that are not on the ACA too. Like if you get health care through your job right now, regardless to what that job is, this will affect you too, whether you like it or not.
Right, because healthcare companies that service people in the ACA markets also serve people in other markets, and they have those different risk pools. And if they're losing money in one area of their business through people not being able to have those healthcare subsidies, then the people who get health insurance for their jobs, that's where they're gonna seek to make up the money.
100%.
And so healthcare premiums, like I have private insurance, my premiums I think went up like 10%.
Already, imagine.
Right. So
not normal. That's not after this nonsense.
Right, exactly.
No, it'll go up more.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's gonna double more than likely.
Yeah, I mean, it's already bad enough. It goes up 10% like
a
year.
It's like the same coverage, so it's not like you're getting anything more out of it. It's just what you currently have is now being charged more because of this.
Do I get a 10% bump in salary? No.
Of course not. Yeah, of course not. This is America.
Things always get worse before they don't get better.
Yeah.
That's the motto of this country, or at least what it should be.
It's funny because as much as MAGA likes to bow down and basically worship Donald Trump, he is such a pussy when it comes to big pharma and everything. Such a pussy.
I've been meaning to say this.
I don't know. I wouldn't say that. Look at him. He took on Tylenol.
Yeah, but I mean that's Tylenol.
Yeah, I mean it's the most used drug in America.
Yeah, but
call him a pussy
he won't stand up to big pharma. You know what I mean?
What are you talking about? He just said Tylenol is shit. Don't take it.
I mean, Advil's the same thing. You could say that too.
No, but no. But he specifically targeted Tylenol, which is the most used, like
pain relief medicine.
Yeah. I mean.
Yeah, you don't even say. You don't even.
Tylenol's what you take when you can't take anything else.
Yeah, that's a good.
Tylenol is basically the word that you say when you want acetaminophen or aspirin. You don't say, "Oh, I need to take a pill," or this and that. You say, "I need some Tylenol."
Right.
When your company's word for a product becomes like the verb for that product, you've got it pretty good. But what I've been meaning to say is like, you can tell things are getting bad when Marjorie Taylor Greene jumps on your side.
Yeah. You said it, man.
I mean, you heard Bernie Sanders praise her as a good Republican.
Oh my God!
Yeah, surprised. I couldn't believe my ears when I heard that, but it's because she's actually coming out of a new shell here.
that's why she's saying shit, because she's affected by it. Her kids or somebody in her family is getting affected by the fact that all the prices are going to go.
Yeah,
So
basically.
whatever she's making in that government job she has, it's going to be like, oh God, now you're spending all your money on healthcare.
And you can't forget that our heroin addict, that or our ex-heroin, who I could still be on it for all we know, the half a brain RFK, was saying that it gives you autism too.
Oh
So
God.
he just makes shit
All
up.
right, I don't even want to
Someone
repeat
reach into
his
his throat,
lies. Like,
pull out whatever rock is like stopping him from speaking.
This has
There's
got to
like
be
either a big clump of dirt or phlegm or some banana peel that he didn't finish chewing or whatever the fuck it is stuck in the
historically.
back of his throat. Someone needs to fucking reach in there, grab that shit, take it out.
I'll just say too, for the record, historically, this has got to be the dumbest goddamn
that's
administration this
like
country has ever seen.
that's like having like Alex Jones as your history teacher.
Oh my
Yeah,
God!
right.
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
It's
like
fucking.
it's just so
It's
stupid.
so
Like,
opposite day with the government. It's like it's making me wonder if I've died and gone to hell, and this is just the version of hell. It's just
yeah,
like
yo,
you're
for
back in the
real.
real world,
It's what
baby.
it feels like sometimes. Like it really does. Like we're living in some kind of
Nah,
paranormal
Satan's like,
dimension.
yo, I bet you want to come here now after
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
experiencing this.
Christ, I'm
Yeah,
beginning to think the new
you think a
American
little
dream is to
fire and
leave.
brimstone's gonna feel that bad now that you're sucking in this world that's gonna fucking blow up in your face?
Yeah, like I'm beginning to think the new American dream is going to be to leave. I mean, at this rate, it's a fucking circus, man.
All right,
No,
Prices are
so
abnormally
I'm not
high.
leaving.
No,
I have
I'm not going to
way,
either. You know what I mean?
no.
I'm just going to watch it burn because
I
there's not much
love
we can
I'll
do.
say
this
this:
country. I
if
love
he gets
the
elected for a third term, I'm gonna seriously consider going to Canada.
Yeah, me too. Then I'll
I
tell you that.
mean,
I agree
At
with you
that
there.
point,
Yeah, I agree with you
at
there.
that point, if he
elected
can get
is
elected again when he's not supposed to be able to, shouldn't have been able to have been elected the last time because he's a friggin' traitor to the country, and whatever everything else, all the friggin' laws he's broken, and it's just hasn't been able to get into a friggin' court of law to actually have it happen because everybody passes down the road, and then you get people like Eileen Cannon who just basically lives under his desk for her job. But
Yeah,
my whole thing is it's just like if he gets elected the third time, we're done.
yeah. This
America,
country's
like you said, the
fucked.
final
It
season of
is.
America is
elected
over.
or just decides to stay and no one makes him leave.
Yeah, which
Oh
is
no, someone
possible
will
now
make him
because
leave.
yeah, this
At
is a
that point, he's a
circus.
citizen. If you're a citizen, I can come in and SWAT and get your fucking ass out.
Yeah, I mean that's
Yeah,
what
but
should
who
happen.
is going to though?
Who's going to?
Yeah.
Andrew
If
Cuomo. We
if
should
no
elect
one
him
no no
first.
if no one was able to run against him,
Yeah, because
then
he might try to do what Putin does. Think about it. He's got a point there.
I mean, if
Or maybe there
that's
just won't be an election.
Putin holds elections. He just makes sure that his
yeah, but if
opposition,
that's
his
the
serious
situation they
opposition
reach,
is
Disappeared.
poisoned
no. So
or
if
Or
shot.
they
that's
fall out
really the
windows.
situation, think
Yeah.
about it though. If that's the situation here happened here, are people really going to be quiet from this point on?
No, because luckily they're not
I
now. And
mean,
that's what I'm
no
happy
matter
about.
what happens, half the people will be like, "That's great."
Right? Because like
That's the problem. Like
yeah.
people are so far
I
gone
don't.
that they're
Yeah.
willing to defend the
Do
indefensible
you
just
truly
to defend
believe?
this
Do you truly
man.
believe that he got elected last time? That he was elected fair
I
and square?
I do. I mean, obviously, there's obviously a chance that, there was some foul play. But
100%.
I mean, if you just, talk to people that support Trump, there are enough people that support Trump, um, just around even New York, around the country that you could see, even some people that didn't necessarily support him in his first term have, shifted their support to him. This is there's something that went on in this country, like psychologically, and
Yeah.
that caused a lot of people to support him and to vote for him.
I
And
100% agree with you.
so whether or not there was foul play, the fact that he was even,
There.
in the running
Yeah. Shows us a
to
problem.
be elected again after being convicted of 34 felonies and
being a traitor to the
having
country,
91 indictments,
Yep, paying hush
January
money to a porn
6th,
star.
um, you know,
insurrection. Hello,
One
right.
insurrection,
I mean,
two
like,
impeachments.
and just the level of like incompetence of his first term,
Right?
with respect to COVID, with respect to pretty much everything.
Yeah.
Um, you know, every day was like a shit show.
oh
Yeah. Like it is now.
Because he didn't know what he was doing. Now he knows a lot more of what he's doing. It's not as much of a shit show in terms of incompetency. It's a shit show in terms of him abusing his power.
Hmm.
yeah,
That's the difference between his first and second term.
yeah. The
Very true.
First
incompetence of
term, you
everyone's
always
time.
just heard like, and there was some shit showishness earlier, like when he fired a lot of federal workers, including the people who oversee our nukes, and then he
Yeah.
had to like say, "Oh wait,
Whoops. Yeah.
we're
Right.
gonna we're gonna need you back."
So
Like that
stupid.
that was you know a silly
Would
thing that he did, but
okay, since
and
we're already talking
dangerous.
about the nukes, would you think he'd hold them ransom? Well, I'll bomb our own country.
I wouldn't rule it
I
out.
don't want to go into
I
like
don't want to get into
speculating
that
what he
either,
could
Ah,
do.
but I wouldn't rule
I
it out.
agree. I would think that if he got desperate enough, he would try to use those against us. I mean,
I
He uses the
he'd be
military
stupid.
against us.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
I
why would this be different? Think about it.
I don't know. I don't know if he would go to
I don't
those
think he would
lengths.
succeed in doing
I
so.
don't think there's a point of it really.
What are you talking about?
Um,
Say, all right, say we have another election,
Like we're supposed to.
like we're supposed to, but
Yeah, right.
it happens to go, smoothly everywhere because the Democrats are trying to get their thing and they're doing pretty good, whatever. And then after he's no longer elected to be president, someone else is supposed to come in. Like you said, he may not just want to leave. He may just decide I'm not going anywhere, and then he's pretty much puts in the codes and puts his hand over the button like I could press this at any time and kill everybody here. Why? Because
yeah,
I'm a
that's
petty
not
little
really
bitch.
how it works, though. I
Right.
mean, like he's not physically in charge of
The nukes, yeah,
like the
okay.
actual
Yeah,
mechanism, the deployment mechanism. Like
exactly. He can't go
he can
push the button
order
to do
and
it.
he can order a nuclear strike, using the codes, but he's not the actual one that,
Presses the
will
trigger, right?
launch the nukes, right?
Right, right, right.
That would be, military personnel, at least as far as I understand it.
Right, right. But I'll just say too, summing all this up in a couple of sentences, I just think the craziest thing that adds to the insanity of the whole thing is the fact that, like you said, he has so many like loyalists, especially like I'll never understand it. If you're like lower middle class or even female at this point, I have no
Yeah,
idea why you would be wearing that hat. He's done literally nothing for you, and he never will. So basically, you're just rooting for someone that's taking more shit away from you. I mean, as far as women go, he already took away their freaking reproductive rights. So, like, that's more than likely not coming back. So, like, when I see that, I almost, it's like chickens for McNuggets at this point. You know what I mean? Like, I'll never be able to wrap my head around that. And then adding to the rest is just like I just never seen such levels of incompetence, and then it being not only allowed, but it being egged on too. So it's like people love paying tariffs
Well,
apparently.
it's again, it's back to moral depravity. This country is, and this is something that they would probably agree with on the other side, although they have a very different view of morals. They think that this country has gone morally wrong, and they are the ones that need to fix it. Except, their morals include hatred for, people who don't look like them,
Right. More
um,
Nazi style.
or think like them. I'm not, you know, they want to deport people from country who don't look or who don't think like them, who
Right,
don't,
right.
support Trump. So, I don't think liberals on the other side want to deport, um, MAGA people. They're not calling for that. They're
No.
not calling for MAGA to be jailed in general just for being MAGA. If you commit a crime, sure.
Yeah, then you're
But,
going, right?
I don't think, when, they like to say that the Justice Department, the Biden Justice Department or whatever. Well, the Biden Justice Department indicted his own son. Like
Yeah, it's
they
true.
and Senator Bob Menendez, a Democrat,
Yeah,
a
the gold
powerful
stealer.
Democrat. Um, like eh, there's no so that Justice Department had gone after Democrats, including the president's own son.
Right.
And I think and got a conviction for it. So this notion that the Biden Justice Department was not was partisan is ridiculous.
Oh God.
I think they conducted, the investigations of Trump, in a very fair manner and slow and methodical. Some would argue too slow.
Yeah, probably.
And so, I think, people just have a very warped sense of morals, and it's basically going to be a battle of morals as far as, what Biden said, the soul of America.
Hmm.
He was right about that. And right now we are losing that battle for the soul of America.
And all right, everyone. That's all we got for this week on Strange Planet Podcast. Thanks for watching. And will America get its morals and integrity back? Who knows? I guess we're going to find out next week, as it didn't happen this week. Thanks for watching, and we will see you next week. Peace.